want to share a story with you about my decluttering journey and 200 pairs of panties and feelings of self-worth and how they kind of all got mixed together. So many years ago at this point, I was watching TV and there was a actress. She happened to be a up and coming African American actress. And I don't even remember what the program was, but they were doing a sort of tour of her home. And she was talking about, you know, having this home and the work that she was doing. And it was just, it was a really cool feature. When she went to her bedroom, though, she pulled out her drawer, dresser drawer, and she said, I have 200 pairs of panties, and I just love panties. And something in me just kind of like the alarm bells, like it kind of went a little bit um, out of my head, out of like my body. For whatever reason, 200 pairs of panties was so far outside my realm of conceivability, possibility. And this was at a time I was probably a couple of years out of graduate school. I was a new professor, on a really modest budget. Actually, I was doing a postdoctoral fellowship and living in the Bay Area at the time, very expensive place. And I just remember getting fixated on 200 pairs of panties. Now, I know this sounds really strange, and I'm being pretty vulnerable here, and I hope this will resonate with you by the time I get to the end of the story. But so 200 pairs of panties became like a new standard for me. I felt like I would just really make it if and feel so accomplished if was able to buy 200 pairs of panties. And and I will say I've never bought the 200 pairs of panties, but over many years, for whatever reason, that 200 pairs of panties was kind of the standard in my mind. And I collected many and bought many other things. But when I think about really what did those 200 pairs of panties symbolize to me, right? And if you've been watching my previous videos, they've been about the relationship between creativity and decluttering, and also reminding us that clutter is not just about the stuff. It's not just about physical things. It's about our relationship, our feelings about those things. So 200 pairs of panties symbolized making it. And even though I didn't go out and over time buy 200 pairs of panties, I kind of held on both as like a fascination and a frustration and like, why did she have 200 pairs of panties and why do I want this? And just kind of had a lot of emotions about that. So why do I bring this up? So decluttering, if you're interested in it, is really about it's asking about deeper questions than just moving stuff around. And I think that the 200 pairs of panties really represented a sense of my worthiness and self-worthiness. And you might not have 200 pairs of panties. I don't have 200 pairs of panties, but we can probably look around in our environment and we can look at things that we've been holding on to that maybe is really about our feelings of self-worth. Maybe they're not serving us in the same way that they did once, but they make us feel safe. And I had quite a bit of deprivation at a certain point in my in my early life. And I know that some of my decluttering journey has been about making sure that I understand I can feel safe outside of acquisition. And, I'm American, I live in North America. Um, not only America, but definitely acquisition is something that people do and something people judge themselves and judge other people for about how they do it. So this idea of 200 pairs of panties is not, an outrageous idea. And the wonderful documentary called The Minimalists, Less is Now, it's on Netflix. There's an expert on there that said the average American home has 300,000 items in it. 300,000 items. That's a lot of items. So, so I think when, no matter where you're watching this from, but if you happen to be in the US, you might say to yourself, wow, there's a relationship here. There's a complicated relationship here between self-worth, worthiness, and stuff. And there might be, you know, 300 pens that you have, or, more candles in your space can really allow, or crafts that have taken over. And so for me, it was both the idea of 200 pairs of panties somehow would make me feel safe and make me feel worthy, and wanting to acquire them, and all of that. But for you, it might be something else. But I definitely, when I have looked in my environment, I can see I didn't replicate the 200 pairs of panties, but there were things in my environment that I was holding on to just to make me feel safe, like at a deep, really deep level. So I should say, if you don't know me and you've been watching this for the last few minutes, welcome. My name is Michele Tracy Berger. I am a scholar, an award-winning creative writer, and a creativity coach. And I am deeply fascinated by the relationship between decluttering, the decluttering process, and creativity, and also our relationship with just clutter. And I've been on a journey for quite a while, and I've been sharing some of my perspectives in these various videos. And I currently have this amazing declutter challenge for creative people. It's a self-paced course, and you can find all sorts of information about that. It's not like anything else that's out there. It's working on through Feng Shui, the Chinese art and philosophy of placement. And it's really about, using momentum and getting rid of, finding homes for, recycling 27 items over 9 days. They can be very small items, they can be very big items, and really getting a fresh start. And this is a great time in the year to do that. But I want you to think about this relationship that you might have with, one thing perhaps that seems to be a bit that's complicated, right? And I think we can say that clutter is not just again, it's not just about moving stuff around. It's really the feelings, that the relationship we have. So what is your 200 pairs of panties, or what is that like for you in your life? I would love to know. Please, if you feel comfortable, share that below. What's something that really came even from outside yourself, that maybe you saw, maybe a family member had, and then something clicked inside of you. You're like, okay, I want this. And not only do I want it, but that it triggered something deep, like at a deeper level, that it makes you feel safe if you have a lot of it, right? And, again, in some cases, having a lot of something, if when we are experiencing it, if we walk into a room and we have a lot of whatever, it's not lowering our energy. Maybe it's bringing our energy up. But for many of us, we can have a lot of something, and it's not in the right place, and it's not bringing our energy up, and it's really taking away often from our quality of life. So that's the piece that I want you to think about. So I'm dying to hear about that, and you can find all sorts of information about the course below. If you're not in my creative community, I'd love to invite you in. You can find how to sign up below. And again, I'm really curious to hear what your 200 pairs of panties story might be. Thanks for listening, or thanks for listening and watching.